Ah, sleep. One of nature's greatest gifts bestowed upon mankind, to rejuvenate a broken and weary soul from a long day of backwards long jumping and saving damsels in distress. Mario here is struggling to find the perfect place for a nap, and needs our help to find one for him in each of the 15 main worlds of Super Mario 64. In this video, I will be listing the most comfortable spots in my opinion for Mario to snooze the night away. The first one is Bob-omb Battlefield. I chose the west quadrant of the level with a little patch of flowers and is surrounded by trees. My reasoning for this is because it is devoid of any enemies and watery cannonballs flying around, which is sure to cause a major uproar from Mario, who is trying to count sheep. It's safe for him to roll around in this slumber as well. I would have chosen the floating island in the sky, but what if you fell into sleep? That would have ended really badly. You also can't beat this view of the horizon, and seems overall really relaxing to lay down in the midst of the Bob-omb War. The next is Wamps Fortress. This is very similar to Bob-omb Battlefield, one because literally the only comfortable spot to sleep I was able to find was more patches of yellow flowers. Only this time it's doubled. Believe me, I tried scouting the entire level and it's absolutely littered with thwomps and piranha plants. The terrain is rock solid as well, and unless Mario's into all that mess, this green area is the safest place to sleep without worrying about getting crushed by sentient stones. The next is Jolly Roger Bay. Between the salty and misty air of all the shores and deadly giant eels, finding a comfortable spot to sleep in this moist level was a little difficult. I know this may sound a little generic, but the very beginning of the level is the best place to sleep because Mario isn't a fish and is not able to sleep in the water. He wouldn't be comfortable inside the sunken chip, and the cave with the treasure chest is a death trap with those toppling giant stones. So bearing these in mind, the shores is the best place for Mario to catch a break and nap. Next is Cold Mountain. In this winter wonderland filled with deadly snowmen and freezing temperatures, finding the best spot to sleep on this mountain itself is probably not the best as everything is iced up and not suitable for sleeping on. I decided that the best place to sleep is inside the wooden cabin itself. The little room where you spawn in after jumping inside looks insulated and cozy. Just as long as Mario doesn't accidentally roll into the slide while sleeping, he should have no trouble falling asleep in this never-ending snowy wonderland. The next one was Big Boo's Haunt. In this dark and depressing haunted manor, you think it would be almost impossible to catch some Z's with the ghosts flying about and giant eyeballs and whatnot. I checked every single room in the mansion itself, and not a single room was devoid of any potential hazard, such as floating furniture, ghosts, and man-eating books, and of course, the infamous piano. Nearly all rooms are uninhabitable, and I decided that the best place to sleep is in the basement area itself, away from everything. Sure, it's cold and damp, but it's the best chance Mario can sleep without being haunted by something. The next is Hazy Mazy Cave. This is perhaps one of the most unsuitable places to sleep, ever. If it were for the fact that it's littered with giant spiders, flaming pits of death, giant rolling rocks, and literal poisonous gas, it still wouldn't be a good place to nap. Once again, I scoured the entire area for the best spot, and the only place I was able to find that was separated from enemies is this little room divided. Not only is it spacious, but it's also a safe zone for Mario to sleep. As long as he doesn't fall into the elevator panel, he should be fine. The next is Lethal Lava Land. Yet another impossible place to sleep. Unless Mario is capable of withstanding extremely scorching temperatures, he's gonna be sweating profusely with all the clothing he has on. I scoured the entire level, and it's littered with bullies and other enemies and fireballs flying around. Platforms are all sinking, and everything seems fragile. Going inside the volcano is out of the question, as it's even more dangerous inside there. The safest spot I was able to find that seems elevated is the hot log rolling area. I chose it because there was a giant fence which should block Mario from falling off the ledge in his sleep. Mario should really find a better place though. The next one is Shifting Sandland. Moving on from the scorching lava, we are now in the scorching desert filled with deadly cacti, walking bombs, giant birds, and quicksand. You know, good spots to sleep. The outside of the level was not considered safe at all, and decided that the pyramid interior was the safest bet, and I was right. Upon entering the level, I decided that this little narrow hallway is the best place to sleep, because just outside are a bunch of roaming Goombas who are itching to wake Mario up rudely. Sleeping inside pyramids seemed to work well for the mummies, so it should work fine for Mario. The next one's Dire Docks. You are immediately thrown into the water filled with a deadly whirlpool, giant sharks, and other forms of dangerous entities. Literally the only form of land is the wooden strip where the Bowser submarine is. There's no other option but to sleep here, and dry a little after taking a long swim. It might feel a little cold due to the water. The next one is Snowman's Land. Similar to Cold Mountain, this place is swarming with icy cold snow piles and cold enemies looking to harm Mario. The only difference is that there is no warm cabin for Mario to sleep in, and going inside the igloo is even more dangerous. I decided that the best place to sleep is where the Koopa Shell is, and is away from all the other enemies. Sure, it's not comfortable, but it's a lot more manageable than sleeping next to literal lava. The next one is Wet Dry World. As the name implies, this world is very wet, with some bits of dry land. The main area is filled to the brim with hazards, and is not suitable for slumber at all. I decided that the best place to sleep is in the abandoned town area. As long as Mario climbs to the top or breaks a window to go inside one of the houses, he can probably find a proper bed to sleep in for once, as long as they are kept dry and not moldy. The next one is Tall Mountain. Seeing as this mountain is very tall, it will be dangerous to sleep here due to the tall heights. I did some scouting and decided that the best place to sleep is inside the mountain itself with the slide. Upon spawning in the slide, you're faced with a cozy little square space, which is perfect for sleeping in. I'm sure Peach won't mind waiting a little longer as Mario catches some Z's. The next one is Tiny Huge Island. Living in the giant version is suicide, as literally anything will kill you here if you're not careful. Going inside the mountain itself is even worse. I decided that sleeping in the very beginning of the small version of the level, where the tiny Goomba is, the place to sleep. It may be a little cramped, but it sure beats living amidst the behemoths. The next one is Tick-Tock Clock. Entering this giant clock with the works seems insanely dangerous, as there are a multitude of thin platforms and spinning cogs. I scoured the area and decided that the best place to sleep is right underneath a swamp, as there's a wide platform comfortable enough to sleep in for Mario. The last one is Rainbow Ride. Juggling between geometric shapes floating in the sky, there seems to be absolutely no place to sleep soundly without fear of falling into the deep chasms. Except for one place, of course. I'm talking about the big house in the sky. There's plenty of space to sleep in there, and it seems nice and cozy. And that's because there is a giant fireplace that spews out fire periodically. Just as long as you avoid sleeping on that side, Mario should be fine. That covers all the best spots I was able to find in Super Mario 64. There are many interesting spots that I would not personally find comfortable, but it would have to do in Mario's case where he can't be picky. Thank you for watching. Which level do you think has the best spots to sleep in? Please like and subscribe if you want to for more videos like these.